Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so today we're going to look at another set of rules for our exponents, and this time it's talking about exponents raised to a power. So we're going to have exponents upon exponents. This shows you the general stuff, but let me show you an example. If I had, for example, 3 to the second power, and I wanted that whole thing in parentheses raised to the third power. So let's talk about what we know. We know that this 3 tells me I need 3 of what's inside the parentheses. So that means I need 3 squared times 3 squared times 3 squared. Well, and I know from what we did earlier that when I'm multiplying the same bases, I keep the base and I add the exponents. 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 6. So the idea here is how can I go from this to my final answer without having to show the step in between. And the answer to that is you multiply the exponents. Okay, that's what this is trying to show you up here. That if I take m and to the n power, we multiply m times n. All right? It works over here too if you have more than one thing inside the parentheses, meaning that you have 2 variables or 2 different bases, and you actually have to go through and multiply those together. So let me give you another example. Let's say I had x to the second y. We'll keep it easy. And again, I'm going to raise that to the third power. Well, I know, like we just did, I need 3 of these. X squared y, x squared y, x squared y. And if I put all my things together, I'm going to have x to the 2 plus 2 plus 2, 6, y to the 1, 2, 3, which you would get if you multiplied those 2 things together. So if there's more than one thing inside the parentheses, then you have to, distribute it or share it out. So let's see how this works. So I have 15 to the third raised to the 9th. So I am going to take, that was pretty bad. Anyway, I'm going to take and multiply my 2 exponents together. So I'm going to keep my base, 15, and I'm going to multiply the 3 and the 9. 3 times 9 is 27. For number 2, I have my base of -2, that stays. It's a negative, so I have to make sure I put it in parentheses. 5 times 8 is 40. Next one. Number 3. 3.4 is my base. And then I have to multiply 17 times 4, which should give you 68. It works if I have a variable. So now instead of the 3.4, I have the s. I still have the 17 and 4, so I already know that that's 68. Over here, this is now where I'm going to be sharing. So I'm going to take, and these x's and these 2 problems mean multiplying. So I'm going to take my 9, and I'm going to put it with both of those bases. So that means I would have 11 to the 9th. I'm going to use a dot, times 4 to the 9th. For number 7, I have to share it, but there's numbers there, so I'm going to multiply those. So I'm going to have 3, 2 times 5 is 10. 7 is my next base, 4 times 5 is 20. All right, let's try it here. So now I even have a coefficient, but I still have to share this. So this is going to be 3, 2 times 5 is 10, right? We had that from above. Now I have an a, 4 times 5 is 20. Hopefully so far so good. Here I have one where I have to share, so we're going to have 5 to the 7th, x to the 7th. That's a pretty bad 5, sorry. In number 10, I have 3 things that I have to share that with. So we're going to have 5 to the 7th, x to the 7th, y to the 14th, because we have 2 times 7. For some reason I skipped number 5. I'll go back to it. Sorry, I just realized that. Number 11, so again I have to share it to the 3 things. So we have a, and we're going to multiply 2 times 4, 8. B, I don't see a number. Remember, it's always a 1, so 1 times 4 is 4. C, 3 times 4 is 12. Number 12, now I have one base, but I'm having it raised 3 different times. You're just going to multiply those all together. So 3 times 2 is 6, 6 times 2 is 12. Number 13, we have 2, 3 times 3 is 9, times 2 is 18. We're going to worry about number 4 together, but let's go back over to number 5. Sarah wrote that 3 to the 5th to the 7th equals 3 to the 12. Correct or mistake? Well, it should have been 3 to the 35th, right? And the reason for that is this 7 means I need 7 of the 3 to the 5ths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And if you add all those up, you're going to get 35, not 12. They added. Okay, so that's what we did there. I think the next part's practice. Yep. So, hopefully, again, these rules have to be memorized. We'll be making an index card to help you be able to do a good job with this. Any questions? Bring it to class and have a good night.